relationship. 20 years ago when I graduated from high school, I graduated with an A in drama, thanks to Leroy Jones, because I did a stirring rendition of Blues for Mr. Charlie. I don't really think I need to say anything about him. What don't we know about him? Mr. Baraka.
Thank you. People always ask me why our poetry is political. That's our tradition. Fred Douglass, or Harriet Tubman, or Nat Turner's Confessions, or David Walker, or Du Bois, or Richard Wright, or Jimmy Baldwin, or Toni Morrison, or Margaret Walker, Sterling Brown, Langston Hughes. Our literature is revolutionary and democratic. Why? Because we find ourselves here in chains, and we want to use everything, whether it's a guitar, a horn, or we'll tap dance to spell out the word. The word is the word. The word is self-determination and democracy. We opened a place here in 1965, 130th Street, called the Black Arts Repertory Theater School. And what we wanted to do, there's three things. One, we wanted to bring the poetry outside of the libraries into the street. That's what we did that summer. We wanted to bring it into the playgrounds, on the corners. Two, we wanted a poetry that was identifiably Afro-American, you know, like Billie Holiday or John Coltrane. People used to come up to me and say, Mr. Jones, I didn't even know you was a Negro. Then I would have to go get an enema, you know. And third, we wanted a poetry that was revolutionary. We wanted a Black Panther Party, a Congress of African People. We wanted a Malcolm X, a Martin Luther King poetry. We wanted poetry that would help us win, that would help us achieve self-determination. Now, one thing I want to say this. They said recently that now black people are starting to read. So suddenly we see all kind of like completely bizarre, ridiculous, backward books by Negroes. You find any number of books that say how I escaped Negroes and got out of the ghetto and became, you know, a poet down on the Lower East Side. You got any kind of books like, what is one called? Colored People. You know what I mean? There's one called Fly Boy in the Buttermilk. They've got all kind of, but what they're trying to do, since they know we're reading books now, they're trying to flood you with the most backward literature there is. But you have to remember this. Don't sit around waiting for somebody to publish you. Publish yourself. You see? Don't wait to get your paintings in a gallery. Open a gallery in your house. Open a gallery in your garage, in your yard. Do not wait for imperialists, the bourgeoisie. And you know you got to beat Bush. You know you got to beat Bush. Anybody ain't registered to vote is corny, I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? Remember, we smoked Bush 1 and the national debt got high. You smoke Bush 2, your Social Security, you got to kiss that goodbye. But we have to vote. You have to vote. Now, I know a lot of y'all will be revolutionaries. You're ready to blow up, what is they ready to blow up, Mr. Dodson? The Pentagon. You're ready to blow up all these Air Force and Army. But why don't you register and vote and get some power? Because like Mark said, inch by inch, moment by moment. And to people who have this thing about, well, you know, Baraka's a red. That means I'm black and I'm red. A lot of times I'm blue. Well, Du Bois was a red. Robeson was a red. I don't step back from that. If you think you hipper than Paul Robeson, well, right on. If you think you hipper than W.B. Du Bois, well, right on. It was Du Bois who first opened my eyes when he said, a lot of people suffered as badly as black people back in the 19th century. In Europe, in Asia, in Latin America. He said, a lot of them suffered as badly as we, but he said, but none of them was real estate. So it's not the oppression, it's the fact of not having self-determination, not having democracy, of being a thing, of being an object, of being real estate. And a lot of these Negroes that we elected to office, you need to replace them. They're smarter, faster, stronger people right here in the audience. We need a political machine, a national machine, a united front. Am I talking about literature or am I talking about politics? We need a united front. We need a revolutionary, democratic united front. We need a strategic alliance of working people of all nationalities and the middle class that you can trust, and farmers and oppressed nationalities. We need that. So finally we can talk about majority rule. I ain't talking about majority of race, but the majority of class. There is $470 billion a year in black people's hands. Right. Our gross national product is larger than India, larger than Argentina, larger than Switzerland. Black people make $470 billion a year. There are 40 million of us, more than most of the nations in the United Nations. Yet we be walking around talking about we poor. What's poor is your self-concept. What's poor is your understanding of how to network and organize. And what is the culture to do? The culture is to teach revolution, to teach transformation. And if you don't have a culture revolution, like Mao Zedong said, even if you take power with a gun, they will take it back. A lot of things we run into now, we thought we had ended in the 60s. We thought we had gotten rid of in the 50s, but it came back. Why? Because we did not keep cultural organizations, arts organizations. When these people be talking about, what is it, the bell curve? We could beat them to death by the weekend if we had one national publication. We could Billie Holiday them to death and John Coltrane to death and Ray Charles them to death by the weekend. So you artists, you writers, you intellectuals, begin to network and organize yourself. Organize united fronts. I'm going to end with this poem because I'm in New York and you poor, pitiful people had Dinkins, but some of you super revolutionaries gave him up for Giuliani. A lot of people had black mayors, they gave him up, but see in Newark, we poor, but we not stupid. We done had Negroes running our life, as painful as that might sound, for 30 years. And people say, well, Bush and Gore are the same people. No, they're not the same now. Bush is a serial killer. Gore is a prostitute. So now we are caught between a murderer and a whore. That's a bad place to be, but that's where we at. You understand? So you might have some use for that hoe, I don't know what. But you can ask my man Sankofa about that serial killer. 135 people killed. 135 people killed in Texas, more than the rest of the United States. Hey, but this is for his man. It's called, what is it called? It's called a, let me open it up and see. It's called A Modest Proposal for Giuliani's Disposal. In 41 verses, which are also 41 curses. Gather all the people Giuliani has hurt. They should slap him 41 times with 41 sticks, 41 bats on his bald head or across his hat. Let 41 wolves attack him and a poison snake wrap him 41 coils around his neck. Then let these animals bite and infect him until he shows human he respects them. Run him over with a police car 41 times. Let the people he framed choke him and put him in a box covered with lime. But don't nobody kill him. Keep him alive. Every morning at 4 a.m., wake him up and start again. 41 blood tests, 41 needles, 41 pills, 41 enemas, 41 baths, 41 questions on 41 pads asked by 41 psychopaths. Have Rikers inmates beat him with hammers for 41 minutes. Or 41 hammers in the hands of 41 innocents. Let them each beat him on each of his two faces, 41 whacks in 41 places. Then each of the 41 set fire to his hair. Let it burn until it's put out by someone who cares. Drag him in the yard, sock him very hard in 41 locations with brass knuckles or chains. There must be 41 lacerations. Whip him across the nose and the temple too. Won't no brains seep out to slow you down. Just whip him till you're through. Workers of all nationalities should drag him from a Gracie mansion to the Gallows home. Drag him by his feet with his head on the street like the people did El Duce in Rome. First thing every morning, give him 41 kicks, 41 more at noon. Keep him naked until he confesses. Give everything he got to the needy, even his dresses. Choke him, nearly smoke him, but please don't kill him. Keep him alive. Sick people commit suicide to escape the pain, but Giuliani got to experience the whole agony again and again. 41 casts around his ears and snout, 41 bedpans in the mouth. Summon all the AIDS patients, and when he's on his knees, gather around Giuliani and give him the disease. Put his cell on the 41st floor, paint a bloody crown on his door. He can't walk, gotta run all the time instead, always butt naked with a bloody crown on his head. Throw him out the window from the 41st floor of the jail, catch him on a faker's pallet of nails. Let the unemployed kick him with all deliberate speed, and the squeegee brothers squeegee him till he bleed. This punishment can last 41 minutes, 41 more if there's no sign of repentance. Then leave him in the gutter covered with garbage and food that's spoiled. Have him sing 41 verses of Deutschland über alles. Tie his dishonor to a tree in front of City Hall so every one of his victims and family friends can make 41 ass-whipping calls. Every 41 days, 41 different ways, smash his face in a mirror, throw him through a glass, roll him down the stairs, demand the police suggest other ways to kick his ass. Giuliani needs to be peed on every 41 seconds by 41 of his victims' friends and Giuliani's own depraved men. Tie him to killer cops, then set them all on fire. But don't let him die. Just let him cry. Giuliani must be punctured with 41 shots, the 19 that hit Diallo and the 22 that did not. Get 41 cops' horses to kick him in his head till he pleads and screams for someone to shoot him dead. On the weekends, just before curtain time, let his corporate backers drag him up Broadway with a barbed wire line. Make Giuliani drink acid and flush it with lye. Do it again if you start to cry. Tie a bomb with a loud timer against Giuliani's ear. Every 41 ticks it should explode, just enough to terrorize him or blow off his nose. Get 41 loudspeakers and have them repeat. Even most white people hate you. For every 41 pieces of the bastard to reach the street, put him together with 41 tubes of crazy glue, 41 buzzards, stank doo-doo, guarantee he be almost new. Set Giuliani's cell at 41 degrees below zero. Giuliani in a toga like his hero Nero. Lock him in a trunk with 41 vampire bats. Make him eat sandwiches with 41 sliced up rats. Hang this beast from a flagpole upside down from the 41st floor of some building uptown. Commit his ass to an asylum for the criminally insane. Surround him with maniacs and make him explain. Lock him in a hyena cage at Bronx Zoo. Cover him with zoo dirt and elephant doo-doo. Throw this fiend from a speeding cab. It only after it runs up a $41 tab. Drop him in a tank under 41 feet of blood. He must drink it all, chug a lug, so he finally exposes how close he is to Bela Lugosi. Let him sleep outside like the homeless he abused on something nasty and wet with no coat and no shoes. Shove 40 more Negroes like his boy Ennis, money maker, and 40 more like Floyd or Flakia. 41 drops of rat pus in his eyes. Send him to the Bronx in his normal disguise. Mayor Murder must be kept in a sewer 41 years while he awaits trial, like he was a prisoner at Rikers Isle. That way he have plenty to eat and drink and enough time to learn to think. He should be sentenced to murder 1, 2, 3, 4, manslaughter, assault, extortion, kidnapping, hit-and-run homicide, fleeing the scene, forgery, B&E, impersonating a human being, vice, narcotics, corruption, fraud, and prostitution, aggravated lewdness, violation of civil rights and grand larceny, confidence and protection rackets, RICO statute on his jacket, serial bias crimes, misuse of the mails, malfeasance, misfeasance, no feasance, and criminal ugliness, sexual perversion, jaywalking, and lying while talking. He served these terms in a pit like the devil in Revelations with no parole consecutively 6,000 years before he free. Addenda: 41 death scene photos of each of his murders in his crib. 41 tattoos on his being. He can't go nowhere without seeing the 41 holes in place of his soul. The following are some of Giuliani's attributes, aliases he is known by: dog dick pus, ugly wound, saber-toothed gonococcus, Shaitan's underwear, the bad breath of Iblis, the devil's gas, criminal G, Dahmer's successor R, like the child killer M, White Death, Black Death, Murder Man, Death Jam, Mayor Nazi, Chiller, Insane Killer, Rudy Maniac, Murder Beast, Rudy the Vile, 666, City Hall Hitler, the Iceman, Killer Rudy, Rudy Death, Rudy the Ripper, Crazy Rudy, Doo-Doo Brain, Giuliani Desaad, Grand Dragon of the Apple, Mayor Murderer, Rudy Death, El Calde Diablo, Der Rathaus Teufel, Mayor Muerte, Serial Assassin. A people's organization is offering a huge reward, the happiness of millions, to any person or persons to capture Giuliani, make a citizen's arrest, and bring him in, near dead or badly alive. Additional reward will follow for information leading to the collar of Rudy's Negro pet canary, Stanley Crouch, a dangerous Homo locus subsidiary. Adios.